Good day again, everybody. So in this video, we are going to talk about promotive and preventive health activities related to chronic illness. Chronic illness requires a proactive nursing approach, focused not only on treatment but also on health promotion and illness prevention. We as nurses, we play a very important role in helping patients maintain the highest possible level of wellness despite chronic conditions, emphasizing education, lifestyle modification, and early intervention. Let us understand chronic illness. Chronic illness are long-lasting conditions that often require ongoing management, such as diabetes, hypertension, COPD, and heart disease. Chronic illness management shifts healthcare from acute hospital-based to community and home settings, emphasizing patient self-care and prevention of complications. Health promotion in chronic illness aims to empower patients to optimize function and well-being within their limits. There is an emphasis on teaching patients about symptom management, healthy nutrition, physical activity, smoking cessation, and stress management. We can facilitate motivation and adherence to therapeutic lifestyles by setting realistic and individualized goals. There is also a need for us to monitor through regular assessments, which will help us detect early signs of deterioration. What will be the preventive healthcare activities or preventive care? This preventive care focuses on minimizing risk factors and avoiding complications. Activities include vaccinations, regular screening like blood glucose or lipid profile or CBC, medication adherence, and management of comorbidities. We teach energy conservation techniques and safe exercise practices to maintain physical capacity without exacerbating symptoms. Environmental modifications at home and work will help prevent injury and promote safety. All this can be made possible through various nursing strategies. Patient education will is very critical to inform our disease process, treatment goals, medication side effects, and lifestyle changes. Psychosocial support will address anxiety, depression, and coping challenges common in chronic illness. Collaborative care will focus on coordinating with multidisciplinary teams and community resources to provide holistic support. Home care is included and will emphasize on the growing importance of home visits and community nursing to reinforce preventive measures and monitor patient status in familiar setting. Patient-centered care and health promotion advocate for nursing care grounded on individualization and respect of patient autonomy. Health promotion is most important and effective when it is acknowledged or when it acknowledges patients' values, cultural beliefs, and readiness for change. We need to assess motivation and barriers to healthy behaviors such as diet modification, physical activity, and smoking cessation. Our health education strategies must be patient-tailored, empowering individuals to take an active role in preventing disease progression and enhancing quality of life. Environmental modification and supportive care is focused on chronic illness management, which extends beyond the individual to include optimizing the physical and social environment. There is an emphasis on assessing home safety, accessibility, and availability of community resources. Modifications like the use of assistive device, fail prevention strategies, and social support networks will reduce the risk and foster independence, comfort, and overall well-being. Health education and behavioral change theories are some of our bases in developing our activities intended to manage chronic illness. Effective nursing education integrates theories such as health belief model, trans-theoretical model, and social cognitive theory to guide behavior change. Likewise, using strategies like motivational interviewing and teach-back methods to ensure comprehension and sustained lifestyle changes. This approach fosters health literacy, enable patients to manage their chronic illness proactively. Okay, the first model is the health belief model. This health belief model is widely used theoretical framework to explain and predict individuals' health-related behaviors based on their beliefs and perception. It was developed in 1950s to understand why people often fail to participate in preventive measures and screening. Key constructs of the model will include perceived susceptibility. This is the individual's belief about their risk of getting a disease or condition. Perceived severity is their belief about the seriousness of the condition and potential consequence if untreated. Perceived benefits are beliefs in the positive effects of taking a particular health action. And perceived barriers are beliefs about the obstacles or cost of taking the health action. What will be our cues to action? External or internal triggers that motivates the individual to take action, such as symptoms or advice from others. Self-efficacy is focused on confidence in one's ability to successfully perform the health action. So in nursing, the health belief model is used to assess patients' perception and motivation, allowing us to develop targeted education and interventions that address misconception, emphasize benefits, reduce barriers, and enhance self-efficacy to promote positive health behaviors. Trans-theoretical model or stages of change conceptualizes behavior change as a process occurring through a series of stages rather than a single event. It helps us tailor interventions according to the patient's readiness to change. The 5 major stages under this model is the first start with pre-contemplation, where no intervention or no intention to change behavior in the foreseeable future. Patient may be unaware of or resistant. Contemplation is when patient is already considering changing behavior but ambivalent or uncertain. Preparation is making small steps or planning to change soon. The action is actively modifying behavior and implementing changes, while maintenance is sustaining the new behavior over time and working to prevent relapse. In the trans-theoretical model, relapse and lapse have distinct but related meanings regarding behavior change or behavioral change. Relapse refers to a more significant return to earlier stages of behavior change, involving a sustained return to the unhealthy behavior pattern after a previous attempt at change. It means that the person has regressed from the action or maintenance stages back to earlier stages like contemplation or pre-contemplation. Relapse is not viewed as failure, but as part of cyclical learning process in behavior change. Individuals often move through several attempts and stages before achieving lasting change. So understanding relapse will help us provide support to encourage renewed efforts rather than discouragement or abandonment of goals. Lapse, on the other hand, is a brief or isolated incident of returning to a previous unhealthy behavior, like smoking cigarette after quitting. It is considered a temporary slip and does not necessarily lead to full relapse. So in summary, a lapse is a short-term slip, while relapse is a longer-term returning to old behaviors, triggering recycling through earlier stages of change with opportunities for learning and growth. So as nurses, we use this model to identify the stage a patient is in and to provide appropriate counseling, motivational support, and reinforcement to progress through the stages successfully. Okay. The other theory is the social cognitive theory. This theory emphasizes the interaction between personal factors, environmental influences, and behavior. It highlights the role of observational learning, limitation, and modeling in behavioral change. What are the key concepts that are included here? We have the reciprocal determinism, where behavior is influenced and influences personal factors, and the environment is a continuous loop. Observational learning means learning new behaviors by watching others. Self-efficacy is the belief in one's own capacity to perform a behavior successfully, a central determinant of motivation and persistence. Outcome expectations are belief that a behavior will lead to desired outcome. In nursing, the social cognitive theory guides us in strategies that involve peer modeling, supportive environments, and reinforcing positive behaviors, while we build patient confidence to manage health promotion activities. These behavioral models help us to understand patient motivations and barriers, tailor education and interventions, and foster sustained behavioral change critical for managing chronic illness and promoting health.